everybody! Happy Monday! I'm used to saying happy Wednesday. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear us all okay. Let us know in chat if the sound is good. Can you hear music? Can you hear us? Everybody say hello, chat!
Hello, everybody!
Hello, chat! Hi, chat! Hello!
Hopefully
Hi,
everybody
chat.
sounds good.
Hi.
Sounds great. Okay, excellent.
Good.
We're gonna dive right in with introductions. I'm going to start with the top left of everybody's screen with May.
Oh my god, it's me. Hi, I'm MaeLeFay, and I like Dragon Age. I like it a lot.
Perfect.
Yes!
Perfect. Yes.
I didn't realize I was going first. I love Dragon Age. I am a Soulless defender.
Ooh.
I'm very excited for the new game, and I am playing Telahn. Ooh, how much detail do we want?
I mean, you can say Telahn the Mage. That's fine.
I'm Telahn the Mage. Elf.
And moving on to the top right of everybody's screen, this way, is Jhevaunte.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binding fighters and hellions of all walks of life. I'm Jhevaunte, also known as Crimson. I also really like Dragon Age. I am super excited to play this, since Dragon Age was my first real introduction into playing role-playing games in general. And I've had this TTRPG since it came out and never got to play it. And today I'll be playing Kata, our Qunari.
Yes.
Moving on to Aki.
Hello, I have a cold. I'm going to sound like this for today, and then back to your regular scheduled squirrel next week. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing Amihan, who uses he, him pronouns. He is a Dalish elf rogue. Yeah.
And next up is Sky.
Hey, you guys. My name's YoSkylerSeymour. You can find me everywhere at YoSkylerSeymour. But most notably, you can find me right here, right now. We're about to play Dragon Age Masquerade, and I am so hyped. Guys, the friends that you see today are about to go on a wicked adventure, and I'm so excited for you guys to meet all of their characters and my character, Ghilane. He is a wonderful warrior. He may not come off as a little bit broody, but trust me, he cares. So get ready for him. Pronouns he, him, and get ready for this little ball of magic.
And last but not least, we've got Momo.
Hi, it's me, Momo. I'm here a lot. I also love Dragon Age. If you did not see our Defend Your Romance Dragon Age edition this past Thursday, where I dressed as Hawk and cried about Varric Tethris for 30 minutes.
Bless.
You do that every day, though.
That's what you really need to know about me. And on Mondays, I will be playing Evander. Pronouns he, him, and I am playing a human Mortalitasi. That's a death mage, baby.
That's a death mage, baby.
Let's go. Yeah.
And also, last but not least, hello, I'm Mandii. I'm your GM for this evening. And for this series, Dragon Age Masquerade, I have cooked for you all, and I hope you enjoy your meal. You can find me all over the internet at the Mandii. I am on this channel quite often as a player, and I have GM'd. If you liked Slime Quest, I ran that game. And I also run a game on Wednesdays on my own Twitch channel called Mist Lost. It is a homebrew D&D campaign with Aki. Aki's in it. And, super amazing things. So, without further ado, we are going to dive right in. Quite on the set, just kidding. It does require a music change, however. Normally when you hear the name Dragon Age, you think of sitting in front of your TV, controller in hand, ready to explore the world of Thedas. venturing forth into uncharted lands, making your mark on the world, embarking on adventures of triumph and romance, to live to tell the tale another day. As we all know, stories aren't written, they're uncovered. Today, I invite you to uncover a new story with me, a tale written in stars not yet seen. A tale written in the faces of the oppressed, the forgotten, the few who stand against the status quo. One written in blood, sweat, and tears of those same adventurers. Today, I am here to tell you a tale of the mystery hidden behind the mask of this world. Beneath the softly glowing moon stands the elegant skyline of Val Royeaux, seat of the chantry and divine Justinia herself. Lies a tavern known as the Lion's Paw. A patron exits the building, raucous laughter and conversation bubbling out from within the bright blue painted stone edifice. Warm light spilling out onto the street through the windows. As we step inside this rowdy establishment, we see dark wood decor, packed booths, and tables and a busy bar. Tucked far in the back of this tavern, at a long table, sit 7 individuals. And, let us not forget, a sleeping Mabari waiting for food scraps to fall onto the floor. Sitting at the head of the table is a rare sight indeed, an imposing figure of a Qunari. Jhevaunte, would you describe your character for us?
Kata is definitely stands out as being the tallest of this group, I'm going to presume outright. But more than just height-wise, it's presence. Kata fills a room irregardless of his own size. There's something that as he stands and moves, everything is rigid and firm. He's placed himself in such a way that if something is to come against the people that he's around, he's the first as the blockade. As levels of preparation, he still has attached to his hips and strapped to his back his weapons of choice, a pair of twin axes and a massive halberd that is leaning precariously on his shoulders. He is a hornless Qunari with long black dreadlocks that he's tied back, deep gray skin that has spots of much whiter skin as vitiligo moves along his body. Kind of soft eyes that seem opposing to the rest of his form. And there's like cuts and moments of very deep belly laughs that come out of him as he listens to the rest of the group around him. The drink he has in his hand, which is probably just a mug of beer of some variety, which his whole hand cups around as he swills it down. And he doesn't do much to hide the old war wounds and scars that he has with this leather harness that he wears as opposed to any major set of armor. He seems jovial at the moment, just very excited and happy to be around people, as opposed to by himself.
And with that, I will reveal.
Look at our boy!
So here we've got Kata.
Oh, King. Oh my god. Oh my
Enhance.
god.
Enhance.
Yes,
Zoomified.
enhance.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
You don't have to, but we're doing it mentally.
That's a firm loaf of bread if
Oh.
I've ever seen one.
Golly.
Our art is done by Karis Alexandra, by the way.
Yes. And Kata, I must ask you, who is sitting directly to your right?
Probably directly to my right would be, I'm probably going to say, I've tried to think now of who might be to my right. Probably, Amihan. Amihan would be to my right.
Amihan. Directly to your right is your friend Amihan. And of course, hiding under the table is our faithful companion, Tiger, who I accidentally moved beneath the character art. Let me fix that. So Amihan, Tiger is laying under your chair, waiting for scraps of food as you all have a conversation. Please describe to us both Amihan and Tiger, if you wish.
So Amihan, ironically, is the shortest of the group at like 5'8", but he does not look like your standard Dalish elf, being very lithe and slender. Amihan is fucking buff, and I think you can see that beneath the many layers. This man built like an upside down Dorito. Amihan has light to medium brown skin, very athletic build. His hair is long, dark brown black, but it's put up into a bun, and the bun has hair sticks. Some are made out of bone, some are metal. He wears the Mythals Valasline very nicely on his face. And then everything else just screams ranger, hunter. He wears brown leathers with hints of blue because maybe he likes blue. Most notably, he prefers white furs and thicker clothing. And he's got an assortment of weapons, not just a bow, but some daggers, some swords, everything like that. And most importantly, he got a face card that would never be declined. I'm talking Nepo Baby Platinum Premium. Okay, I'm talking I get into the lounge without having to pay for anything kind of vibe. He's a very pretty fucking man. And he sits like a normal person sitting on a wooden chair. He's very chill about it. And the Mabari tiger, probably underneath his chair, between his feet, like he prefers, because he doesn't want to be the type of dog owner that, okay, look, for the purpose of this game, we are leashless, but leash your fucking dog when you go outside, okay? That is your safety, your dog's safety, and the safety of other people, all right? Leash your fucking dog. But for the purpose of this, my dog is unleashed.
Folks. This is fantasy.
Yeah, this is fantasy. This is fantasy. This is fantasy. This is a highly. Right now, though, this is fantasy. This is a highly trained war dog. Okay.
Do not try this at home.
Do not try this
Please.
at home. If you do, I'll smack you. Like, come on, I'll find you. Anyways, Mabari, very standard Mabari, dark brown fur. She's a big girl. And she is a girl. And any of the, I'm forgetting what the proper name for it, but like any paints that's on her kind of just look like stripes, because her name is Tiger. Very confusing, I know.
And Amihan, who is sitting directly across from you?
Directly across. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, get tired by it. So behold, I go. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. My mother told me to pick the best one, but
really,
then
you can't just pick. You can't just point at
Watching
someone.
a tiger by the toe? You can't say that.
It can't be me because I know where I'm sitting and it's not across from Amihan.
Hi, then. You're right.
It can be
I would sit down
Telahn.
across from you.
Telahn.
Okay.
I would see another elf and also a cute dog, which I know it's a scary, threatening dog, but a cute dog, you know. I'll sit across from you. Because I also at least recognize your companion. So Telahn would kind of slide in as quietly as possible and probably talk to no one unless they talk to him. He is tall for an elf. He's 5'10". Not tall for this party, but tall for an elf. And he...
Did we lose you?
Oh, you might have been muted.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Yep, there you
Oh,
are.
I can hear you now.
Oh, Whoa. Okay. Sorry. What I said is he's built like a string bean. Did we hear that?
No, we didn't.
We missed
Now
that
we
part.
did.
Now we've heard it.
Okay.
Now we
Just so
heard.
you know,
That was important, and I missed it.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My
Okay,
boy built
I don't
like
know
a
why-
Vulcan breakfast.
I'm gonna have to do a mic check after this, but
Okay.
I realized that he would be played by Timothy Chalamet. He's like a skinty Victorian child, but like
serving.
pretty, but like kind of in a sad way.
Yeah.
And he has his hair is actually dark brown, but in the dim lighting, I assume, of a tavern, it would probably just look black. And same for his eyes; they're actually dark blue, but you wouldn't know unless you get close enough, which he would probably kind of avoid.
Oh my goodness.
I say he's an elf. He's an elf, and he's got little elf ears, but he has long hair. He's an emo boy. He likes to have he'll have the the pirate, like the eye covered with the bangs, but shorter on the side so he can be free to do maybe a little magic or something. And yeah, he's actually no deep V's, much to my dismay. He's covered. He got like this loose drapey clothing, but intentionally covered arms and chest, I guess. Yeah.
And directly to your left is
I think
Ghilane.
it's Ghilane, because he seems nice and quiet too.
Sky, would you please describe Ghilane for us? Oh, you're muted.
Ghilane
Oh, there you go.
You see him lift his right hand up to his temple. And as you do, you see a little bit of like this black ash kind of fall from his hands as he scratches this mark that he has on the right side of his forehead. That marking seems to be the workings of years and years of what he's done, and that's his kind of like tick almost. You can see that there's a little bit of black ash in that spot where his hair has now receded from just excess touching. He has this furrowed brow as he brings his hands back down, and he starts to just think, lips on thumb. You see his copper hair is up in nice braids of some sort of specificity. You aren't quite sure yet. Long hair behind the ears, mostly on the back, but one little twisted braid in the front that has a cute little like decorative gem on it. He has this this leather sleeveless vest. He has white linen, a long sleeve white linen shirt that he's rolled up. You can see his little biceps passing through it. And you also see on the table right in front of him what seems to be some sort of like hammer of some sort. It's placed in a very particular way as he slowly moves it into the exact place that he needs it to be. He's 6'1". He has this nice scruffy face, bearded face. He has these nice leather boots on, 2 bracers on his wrists. And then you notice his eyes as your eyes drift up to his. And he has one eye, it's very dark brown, kind of like if it was in the sunlight, you'd think it's a little bit lighter than that. But the other one is sort of this gray, green color. So he has this heterochromia going on. And one very defining scar right across the nose. At least that's what you think it could be. You aren't quite sure because it kind of matches the same color as what's on his hands. That is my man. He's early to mid 30s. He's a good man, very quiet as he takes in the remaining the party members at this table. As he eyes them, you see his gaze shift to each and every weapon at the table. as he sizes them up and down, and he looks methodical and thinking.
And directly across from Ghilane is Evander.
Yes. Evander, the first thing that you would notice about him is his posture. He sits very upright, very prim and proper. Everything about him tells a tale of elegance. His features are finely carved and slender, with very nimble fingers and long legs. And the only blemish that you can find on this man is on those said fingers. Tiny little cuts and nicks all over them. Similarly, his hair is very much the same, prim, proper, always kept in place, like molten honey in color. In this dim, tavern, it probably appears more light brown, but it's the kind of hair that when you're out in the sunlight, it catches copper almost, is how I picture it. With eyes that are very, in contrast, gray and dull almost. They look lifeless. With a sharp, he always, of course, keeps gold under his eyes, and some kind of kohl on his line, because we love a man in eyeliner. Come on, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
And then
Yes,
accenting
chef.
that. Yes,
Yes,
chef. We
chef.
love a man in
Yes.
eyeliner.
For us.
And this man's, he got two types. And there is no weapon on him. Only adorned in very sheer and fine fabrics, a mix of navy and gold. And as he's sitting next to Amihan, he's looking about for something. And there is kind of a little tweeting off in the distance. And the shadow
Oh, that's right.
of a small bird is flying through the rafters.
Correct.
And that would be his little it is a stellar jay. That is the kind of bird that is sitting up in the rafters, and that is his little bird familiar.
Yes, Morana is sitting up in the
at her.
rafters, making little tweet sounds. For those of you looking at the screen, she is fluttering over Cascata's shoulder over here.
Baby.
Because, that's where there was room.
He going over there, okay? But
she going over there.
yeah, I picture her up in the the beams and taverns. She's probably sitting up there, getting a good view of everybody looking out. And my question would be, is my little apprentice with us?
And yes, I was just about to get to that.
That's perfect.
So sitting at the
he's with
other end of the table, though next to you, is let me find. Oh my goodness. Hanami is sitting next to you. She is sitting across from. Actually, she's sitting next to Quimet. So there are two young ladies sitting at the table, much younger than the rest of you. Hanami, who is a Dalish elf who looks a lot like Amihan, is sitting next to you, Evander, and next to her is a young Qunari lady named Quimet, who is happily chit-chatting with Hanami because they are best friends. They are chatting about their magic studies and having a good time while the rest of you talk business. Sitting on the table is a pack of a letter, essentially, inviting all of you to you've been summoned as a group. Some of you have worked together in the past, some of you have not, but have met in passing, as you are all adventurers in this area, or have some level of involvement in Orlesian society or in the society around the Dales. And this is a strange time for Orlais. It is a difficult time for Orlais, in that the War of the Lions has just recently begun, less than, perhaps even just a month ago. You were in the height of the beginning of the movements of war, but despite that, and despite the turmoil that it has brought to Val Royeaux and Orlais as a whole, you have received a summons to meet with a mysterious benefactor known as Lord M, whom none of you have met. This letter, this summons, came with invitations to a somewhat unconventional masquerade being held at the historical museum building of the University of Orlais. It is a charity masquerade ball. But you've all been procured invites because apparently Lord M is very, very busy and only has time to meet you at this party. And so that is where you were all at. You have received this summons, and this is your chance to talk about the job that you have just accepted. You've already accepted this job, and it's happening. Tell me, what is everybody's reactions to this somewhat strange invitation?
Did we just, like, is this the first time we're reading it here, or have we held on to this for a little bit?
You've had this for a little bit. You've already accepted the job because you very clearly need the money. And, money never hurts.
Exactly.
Especially when you are educating 2 young mages.
Yeah.
Money is definitely sorely needed in order to make sure that Hanami and Quimet have their needs met, for lack of a better word. Now, I will say, you have already sent word that you plan to go, and you've already you've already taken care of making sure that you have masks, because it's not the first time you've been invited to such parties in general. So you do already have that well underway, and you're really just discussing, speculating about the invitation that you've received.
I think while the little ones are distracted, and very pointedly, he's been waiting for the girls to kind of start talking on their own, so grown-ups could talk about grown-up things. He kind of does one of these, like one of those motions, like to put a little bit of his body between, since he's next to one of the girls, since he's next to Hanami, and kind of turns towards the other men at the table and,
So, before we get into this, can we just take a public poll of, who exactly has been to a masquerade ball before? I'm just gonna venture that none of you have, but please prove me wrong.
You're going to see, you see Ghilane's hand raise as he says, "Never been to one. Ever." And he puts his hand back down.
you saw hope. Like, hope just, there was hope, and then the... Okay.
I do not get invited to very many of these events.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question about the what is the point of wearing the mask?
Oh, God. Maker, please. Telahn, please tell me you've been. Wait, I need my poll first. Telahn, have you been to one? You haven't. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, no, Telahn just looks up at you, and you just see it in his eyes. You just cut him off before he even says anything, and he's like,
Yeah. It's the way he doesn't even expect an answer from Amihan, because he already knows Amihan
Yeah, it's.
Other than
I'm
that,
just
man, I
gonna
know.
look at you.
The shrug. As for the point of the masks, have you heard of a thing called the Great Game?
This is one of those royal things, right?
That's a great explanation. It's one of those royal things.
Have heard of it. Have not willingly participated, but coin is coin.
Agreed.
This is one of those events in which people ply with words and trade and things of that nature, and then proceed to stab each other in the back, metaphorically and physically.
Correct. Very correct. That, honestly, that was a great explanation.
Politics are the same wherever you go.
Huh. I suppose you're correct.
Well, that sounds better than dancing.
Oh, that will be included.
Maybe for some of us.
Oh, the game is played best, actually, while dancing, I would say.
Ghilane's gonna scratch their eyebrow and look and shift uncomfortably in their chair. And then turn to Kata and say, if some of your face isn't showing, it's not as deceitful to some. Is that important to us? No. Is that important to scum? Yes. So wear it or not, it will be up to you. Let's get this underway. Time is ticking.
I'll just think of it like a helmet.
Exactly. Fit for the fight. No.
Hanami pipes up from the side because she's completely eavesdropping. Both of the girls look over and they're like, Hanami in particular is like, do I get to wear a mask?
Evander
Looks at Amihan. Muted.
Yeah, I think you should. If
I do?
everybody's wearing one. Yeah, you get to wear one.
Yay! And Queen Met's like, I already have one picked out. I just have to go get it. Looks at Kaskato.
Koss, visibly is just scratching the side of his head, did this invitation specify that there was just going to be us, or were there supposed to be the rest of them too?
I think this would be a great opportunity for the girls.
Sorry, I didn't know we were supposed to bring a child with us.
Yes, aren't we supposed to get our job done with as quickly and as easily as possible?
This
You would
you
be
have us do?
surprised.
Find our man. Or woman.
This invitation is for the meeting, not for the job direct.
Ah,
You'd be surprised how easy most jobs are with the child.
I'll pointedly look at Quimet. You
Yeah?
will stay in places you are designated to stay, and not go anywhere else.
I will do as you say.
Thank
Looks at Hanami. Hanami looks back at her.
The babies are scheming.
It was easier to raise her when she didn't have friends.
I
You
understand
hear
that.
snoring from under your chair.
Look,
Loud Mabari snoring. Just
Oh my god.
totally sleeping.
Get Wyatt to do it. Wyatt, get on his.
Wyatt,
he's
let's
in the
go.
other. I would. He snores like a Mabari for sure.
He do.
I'm gonna look down at Tiger very inquisitively, and then I'm gonna look back up to
She
the
opens
table.
an
and
eye,
be like,
looks at you, closes an eye again.
Does Tiger require a mask as well? I say this, and I like grab, like, I don't know, there's like a chicken leg on the table. I just grab it very visibly and slowly move it down to the dog so Tiger can have it.
No bones.
Like lightning, snaps at it, but knows with precision not to bite you. But she very quickly, before you change your mind, snap, and is immediately ripping the meat from the bone.
Love her.
You hear a little tweet above your head.
I look.
Morana's just watching, making sure you remember she's there.
I remember. Gives a look. Put a little hand out for her so she can come sit on me.
She flutters down and alights on your hand and tilts her head at you. Almost as if she has intelligence of her own. Interesting.
Interesting.
Us is going to look very pointedly over to Telahn. Food. Have you eaten today?
There is nothing. There is not a drink or anything in front of him.
He will
Um,
take half of his meal and visibly cut along the half, and then place that onto an empty plate and slide that forward.
Oh god, what are you eating again? Or what is he eating?
It's predominantly it's like
Protein.
half a leg of mutton and then some assorted greens because he's still trying to be healthy. Just eat.
He's gotta get his roughage, you know?
Oh, you're muted.
May, your mic.
Oh, no.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
There it is.
Oh.
It did work that time.
I'm just muting it and unmuting it. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on.
you know,
Um,
it's doing what it'll do.
I was asking if the rest of the party, is anyone else eating? Or is it just, Cascada?
Evander probably has some.
Yeah, I've been eating,
The
but I'm
girls
also
have
like,
food too.
yeah.
I think Ghilane is completely has nothing in front of them and is just eyeing the door and the food. Back from the door, back to the food. No, it happened again.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Nope.
gonna
Vanished
fix your
into
mic.
twink hell right there.
Twink
Oh my
hell.
god, Talon
Because you
just got
didn't have
banished
food.
to twink hell.
You're in twink hell because you didn't eat
There
your
you are.
greens.
W-
There you
Twink
are.
back.
Can you hear
Prison.
me?
Yeah.
There
Yes.
you
I
go.
want to know what's happening. I'll try and fiddle with in between, but just I've wasted away from not eating. He'll take a bite. Except I thought we were supposed to keep a fit figure for these sort of things, right?
Yes, a fit figure.
Or to his lack of muscles or anything.
You look like you would slide through the storm grates.
Well, someone has to. What if there's stealth required?
Not through stealth, just through walking.
Oh.
You are fine to eat some food. Some.
Will not protest.
Good. Some. That is all I ask.
There we go.
You can be big and plenty stealthy.
Speaking from experience.
Sounded so threatening.
Ghilane,
think
you as well.
every-
You do not need to be so prepared for anything to come out to you.
Mm.
You will be fine. Eat something, please.
Ghilane
Please.
puts his hand, stands up, walks on over to you. So you hear the skirting of the chair, stands up, pretty abrupt. Walks over to you, step, step, step. Puts both of his hands on your shoulders leans in and says, I can't afford it. I have no more money. So, unless you would like to make half of your half for me, leave me out of it.
He very casually pulls out the hand axe and cuts into the other half.
Well, that was a choice. I like it. And he'll put his hand out. He'll put his hand like right in front of you. He's standing behind you. He put his hand like over your shoulder. Like you can put the food in his hand.
Yeah, he kind of scoops it up into the axe and just deposits the remnant into your hand.
Yeah, the clattering of the cutlery and the plates, which you probably cracked maybe a little bit, turns a few heads. There are many adventurers in this tavern. This is not a casual, noble tavern. Many mercenaries and adventurers frequent here, and they look up because they're like, is there going to be a fight? Is there not going to be a fight? Oh, nope, not a fight, and they all turn away, back to what they were doing.
You see Ghilane walking back and just start eating the meat. What he can of it. And is there a bone, perchance?
It's mutton,
there
probably.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And as he gets down and he sits back down, he like takes out the bone from his mouth like he just ate it, or like ate the meat or whatever on it, and he'll put it on the table, and he'll bring up his hammer, and he'll shatter the bones. He'll put the bone in his hand, and he'll kind of like, you see this toughness of this man, like have no regard for his hand whatsoever. And he takes the hammer and he smashes the bone in his hand. And he does it in a way that is not like a heavy, hard-hitting, bone-shattering smash, but rather a very precise. Like if you actually took a second to like slow it down, you saw that he hit at a very precise angle, and it kind of split the bone, that small bone, in half. And he did it a couple of times, and it kind of like faded into some sort of edible bone, and he'll eat that bone.
I say that's gay in Elvish.
Hanami leans over to Evander and she goes, "Are all blacksmiths like this?"
No,
Oh, okay.
they are not. Do not repeat that behavior, please.
I don't want to. Eating bones sounds gross. And she goes back to talking to Quimet.
I'm like,
they're now ignoring the rest of you. They're like, ew,
They don't
gross,
care anymore.
and now they're back to
ew, gross.
doing girly
Boys are
things.
gross.
Yeah, boys are gross, and we're traveling with a bunch of them.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're incredibly wrong. Amihan is not gross.
I was just.
Yeah, he's
Amihan saw you
nasty.
do that shit, and was like, I immediately thought, with the axe, that's really unhygienic, but didn't want to say anything because y'all were doing your thing.
Yeah, just. Oh yeah, Evander's got one of these going on. Like, oh my god, please don't draw a crowd. Please don't draw a
Might I
crowd.
also say that Ghilane is not like he's not trying to be disgusting. Like it's not like he's chewing with his mouth open and he's like spitting food everywhere like while he's eating. He's as
just
you
being a
as
man,
you start to
yeah.
notice his walk back and forth, the only thing that you see on the ground as long as it's not his, you only see like little specks of ash here and there. And on the table, you notice that like none of the food, even flakes or like a piece of it, is on that table. Like he had the utmost control over like how he like had the food in his hand.
Absolutely. So, you are as prepared as you're going to be, I assume, for the masquerade. Is there anything else your party would like to discuss before we continue to the next scene?
Do we know when the masquerade is?
It is
Like how soon it is?
It's in a few days. You have some time to prepare. You've had a bit of notice. It's probably like a good 3 days away, so this would be like your last minute conversations, your last minute preps. Like I said, your masks are already well underway. You can go pick those up. You can talk about the job if you want to. Plot what you think you know. What are your speculations? You know nothing about the job. You just know that it is a well-paying job. And it's not the first time you've worked for a mysterious benefactor in Orlais. That happens a lot. And it's not
Orlais.
uncommon for it to be at a party of some kind or after a party of some kind to meet these benefactors.
Then I'm gonna wave over to get Evander's attention and be like, Benan, are we supposed to dress up for this?
Yes, you're supposed to dress up.
Like dress up.
Like you can't. Well, you shouldn't wear. Well, I guess you could wear furs, but maybe not your leathers. You need something a bit different, but you could still accent it with furs. I think you look best in those. And do we have to bring Tiger?
Disrespectfully, who else is going to watch the girls?
I thought you would be watching them.
I can only watch so much. It was easier when there was one. And
Now
then
we have
Tiger
two.
came along, and then I had two. And now there's a third, and the third is much bigger than me.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Can we get like a ornamental collar or something? It'd be cute.
As long as it doesn't restrict her. She's got a thick neck.
I know.
You see like Dog Snoot like peek up from between the two of you, like above the table just a little bit, like looking at you when you say the word collar.
He give a scritch to the snoot. It won't hurt. Nothing restrictive. It's just ornamental.
Her ears kind of flatten a little bit and she narrows her eyes at you just slightly.
I will give you a treat if you wear it.
Ears perk back up again and the tail starts to wag.
And quickly looks at Amihan like a
Like I said, it was easier with with two. We need someone to watch the girls.
Okay. And we have a mask
Um,
picked out for Hanami?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Well, this would be very important for her, you know.
I know.
Increment, I mean, at the age that they're at, being able to expose them to something like this, and while they can still openly be mages, is... There's not many places they can be that.
I am aware. Which is why I want someone to watch them. I do
What-
not trust these noble Shem. I
Well, I
especially
could-
don't trust them in their fancy outfits.
Okay. Fine. Tiger can come, but she has to wear a cute ornamental chain.
When you
That
say
is
the
fine.
word chain, the nose sticks up again, looking
Oh.
like just looking up at you like what the fuck?
I slip her a little piece of meat.
She'll eat it, and further complaints will be quieted.
And I give one teeny little, like, I take a little nubbin off the plate and I give it to Marana as well.
Oh
in
yeah,
her little
Morana
beak.
is all about it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we feed the pets. They get treats.
We feed the pets; they get treats,
feed
and
the
the children
pets.
too. The children also get to eat.
The children also
your
get
other pets. They count as party pets, in my opinion.
Look, man, we might be a party of like 5 grown-ass men. But we do not make any choices. We've got like minimum 3. Morana is also a girl. We got 4. We've got 4 girls actively running this party.
Yep,
The rest of us are
absolutely.
just lucky to be here.
Truly.
Who runs the party? Girls. So
Girls.
well, we're going to fast forward a little bit. You've made your preparations, you've made your speculations, you've learned at this point as adventurers that playing the guessing game doesn't usually get you far in Orlais because you show up to the job and it ends up being something much worse or much better or much easier or much harder than you anticipated. Especially when you get these mysterious summons of, I have a job for you, meet me at this ball, it's at this location, here's some invitations. And you get the sense that whoever has invited you to this event, this Lord M person, has potentially a lot of money, because fancy envelope, fancy letterhead. You were given funds ahead of time to ensure that you are dressed at least somewhat appropriate for the event, just enough to cover the cost of your masks and any other fancy attire you decide to wear, to the masquerade. Now, you mentioned the grand game. As a quick note, for those of you who are not as familiar with the lore of Dragon Age and Orlais, the grand game, or the great game, as it is also called, is basically the politics and machinations of the nobles and rulers of Orlais. The decisions made during the grand game affect all people in Orlais, oftentimes not to the benefit of the average person. Yes, you're right, chat. Nobles are sus. And here's where we will move on to the night of the event.
Maybe they aren't sus now. Maybe this is the first time they won't be sus. Guys,
maybe
this
not.
could be the first time ever.
For the first time ever, politicians are honest.
What a
Said
surprise.
no one
We'll
ever.
see.
It is a fantasy game.
It is a
It is a fantasy.
It is.
Interesting.
They're
We're about to
definitely-
see.
We're about to see. So you arrive, once again, you arrive at the outer area of the historical museum building at the University of Orlais. It is, there are quite a few people, dotting the walkways in little groups. Some individuals are just walking in on their own. As you walk up to this grand building on the campus of the University of Orlais, it is essentially there is a red carpet rolled out to come down the stairs leading up to the main landing area. At the base of the stairs are some beautiful fountains, kind of on either side of the staircase, and you walk up these stairs to an outdoor landing area, at which there are these beautiful columns, these marble columns leading into a stone edifice of this building, with big rounded archways, and in between each archway, standing in front of a column, are statues of historical figures. Some are artistic, some are actual figures from history, mostly of the masculine variety, so different heroes of the past, etc. And there are basically carved stone on the edges of the top of the building, just at the very top, like a border, carved of various creatures, dragons and griffins and different flora and fauna, carved into the side of this building. As you enter into the archway area, we're gonna jump into roleplay art land once again. As we get to the party, I'm going to really quickly populate the screen. There we go, and we're gonna switch scenes here so you can see everybody's masks.
Whoa.
Yo, Cascas goes hard.
Yo.
It really does.
For
That shit
real.
goes
That is like a helmet. That's armor.
It really does go
For
super hard.
real.
Dude, that
Oh
shit
my
goes hard.
Right? I'm just here
Ooh.
for it. You know what I mean? Like I'm here for it. Let me just
What fucking Doom is that you? James!
Doom, is that you? Yep, that's exactly.
Welcome
you
back,
right.
Victor Von Doom.
Welcome back. So, if everybody wants to describe what kinds of masks they have, I know you've all seen the art up close, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to describe your masks, feel free. Your outfits are roughly the same. I don't have a masquerade version of Tiger. I'm so sorry. I didn't know we were doing a fancy collar and chain, or I would have
know.
asked Karis for that.
I know. Just imagine. Just
imagine.
I'll describe it. I'll describe it.
Okay, perfect. We'll start with Evander since you're
Okay.
chomping at the bit. I know you are.
Yeah, I'm ready. So his mask is very delicate. It is a dark navy. It is velvet with gold foiling filigree over the edges of his eyes. Of course, very in theme for him, navy and gold. And he has actually taken one of his belts for Tiger. One of the, like, a little gold chain belt, probably with little, like, dangling gems. Nothing too fancy, so I mean she's well behaved, so he's not worried, but like, you know, God forbid. Or maker forbid. But he's kind of wrapped it around her neck loosely, so it doesn't tug tight. Just a simple little delicate gold chain.
We'll say Ghilane can go next if you want to.
Okay, of course. Ghilane's mask is made out of the same leather that he is wearing. It is very sure to not catch flame. You see that it has been specifically like cut in a way that not a single edge you can see any of the like inner leather. It has all been like precisely like sewn around. It has little etchings of gold, just like the gold around his leather vest, and a bit of red in the corners to match the very noticeable different red scarf that he wears around his neck. So it incorporates all of who he is into a mask. He tried his best. As you see, it's kind of been freshly made, not bought or purchased.
Cascata, how about you? He's MF Doom. Surprise!
It's MF Doom. Yeah, Cascata is wearing what is essentially. He didn't go to a place to find a fancier, like, I would like a fancy mask. He just went to Ghilane, held out the hand axe, and said, I want a mask made of the same metal as my axe, and with horns. And just paid Ghilane to make him a iron mask with the horns out, covering most of his face, except for his eyes. And of course, like a leather strip to keep it affixed to himself. He did this partially so that he could save what money he had.
So
Notably
bad.
to then buy an actually nice mask for Quimet.
Do you have an idea of what you want the mask to look like for Quimet? If not, I will describe.
I think for Quimet, it's I think like a very soft fabric that has been like sewed and patchworked into looking like a butterfly's wings. Where between each of like the fabric holdings, there's a small bit of stained glass between, so that it shines and light hits it perfectly.
That's amazing. I love.
That is amazing. Amihan.
So Amihan is dressed down in the sense of everything is like now like one color. The best way to put it is that Amihan looks like security detail, like how he's supposed to be. Minus maybe the furs, because I feel like Evander would have been like, keep it on. You know?
Yeah, he said you looked
Mhm.
nice in them.
Yeah. And so the mask matches, for the most part, what Amihan is wearing, which is the mask itself is like very dog like, kind of like Loki with tiger, like the Mibari kind of face like tiger, except it's got some blue details going on to kind of look flavor texty, kind of like Valisloon. But otherwise, Amihan's very, very matchy, honestly.
Actually, I really wanna zoom in on these, so I'm gonna do that really quick.
They are pretty masks.
Alright, let's
Enhance.
see.
Karis gave us
Enhance.
good maskies.
Cute.
Enhance.
Look at the little
Um,
snoot on it. I love the little
it's-
snoot.
It's so good. I'm gonna zoom in on everybody now that we're talking about it. Then we've got Ghilane.
Enhance.
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 Look at this man.
Dude,
Look
we-
at this hunk of
We look like
man.
we're about to do a heist, y'all.
You do look like you're about to do
Look
it.
at
Man,
him.
I should have planned a heist campaign.
Look
Hold
at
on,
his
let me-
eyes.
I got
Now
an
that we're
extreme
getting in
early. We're
close.
going back to the drawing board chat.
Okay.
The drawing board.
That's fine.
I'm glad we're getting
Okay,
enhanced.
real quick, while you're enhancing, I just also want to say hi to my friend Amihan, who's the Rose Cleric in chat. Thanks for letting me use your name, my friend.
Hey, cute.
Oh, God.
Amihan is a really cool fucking name. It's
Love
it
it.
means like winter storm. It really fit the character. And then I was like, wait a minute, I have a friend named Amihan. Let me just ask before it gets weird,
Love.
right?
And
So
last
good.
but not least,
Zoomify.
Talon. I would love to hear what your mask, to hear what your mask is like.
You might be asking yourself, how is Telahn breathing in this mask? And to
I
that, I say, this is a fantasy TTRPG. Telahn definitely picked, he's the kind of person who, like, he'll pick something that he's like, oh, this is good, it'll, like, cover my face, it'll be inconspicuous, but then by choosing that, he has this weird mask that covers his whole face, and it's probably, like, draws more attention than he actually wanted it to. What kind of material is it?
A mystery.
That's the mystery. I imagine it has the, like, what are the really fancy knives? Like, it starts with an A, I think. They have, like, that black and silver kind of texture, like that light, or like pattern on them.
Yeah.
Adamantine knives or whatever.
Ah,
Kinda like-
maybe.
yeah,
Oh,
kinda-
who knows?
Yeah, that always sounds like a fantasy ass metal. I don't feel like I'm saying a real metal when I say that, but it's like it's got like that little kind of subtle shimmer to it, but pretty plain other than the fact that it is like obscuring most of his face.
Excellent.
We didn't say what Hanami looks like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What does Hanami look like?
Hmm. Okay, listen here. And feel free to correct me, Momo. But I think we put a lot of the budget into Hanami.
Oh yeah.
I think we put. I think 80% of the budget went to.
we dress
went to.
our baby.
Yeah, Hanami is 11, by the way. I just like she's the real baby of the party because I believe Quillette is older,
I
but
think she's 12, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Queen-
12
yeah, like
11
11 to
12.
12,
Mhm.
like that.
You're
Yeah,
You
like
got
she's
preteens in your
small.
party, y'all.
hmm
Oh my god.
Hanami is old enough to start her Pokemon journey, except in Arceus. In that one, they clearly say they're 15 and all 15-year-olds die. That is a fact that they say in the damn game. I think
Okay,
Hanami. I really like Legends of Arceus because of the child labor and child death.
Clip.
Clip.
Somebody clip that.
Flip me and take it out of context whenever you please. God. Hanami, I think so. I think she's wearing like a really pretty dress. I think everything is very it's very modest, but with Evander's flair for patterns and whatnot. And then the mask itself, I think, obviously it matches the outfit. I think also Hanami's outfit and Evander's outfit are kind of more matchy because it's like, so that way you know who she's apprenticing under. But the mask, I will say, is maybe like a little like a regular like mask that kind of covers the top half of your face, but there's Hala Valisleen on it.
Oh, that's so cute.
I love
She's
that.
not. She herself doesn't have it. She's too young, and
Yeah,
now
baby.
like other things are gonna happen. She may never have it, but I personally headcanon that if she were to ever get one, it would be the Hala one.
I love that. That's so cute.
I love this for you. So
Baby.
you move into the ball. You step in. You are this is not the sort of ball in which the Empress would be attending. Empress Selene is not present at this event, so it's not the level of fancy. It's a little bit more casual of a ball. It's because it's for raising money and things like that. It's a little more loose. You do have your equipment on you. You have the dog. You did get a side eye from the. Actually, you know what? You get to the door. Let's game this out, chat. You ascend the stairs. Amihan, you notice that there is beautiful greenery in a lot of the displays and near some of the statues that have clearly been, are from local flora and fauna. It's not imported, but it's equally beautiful. This place clearly has a lot of focus on history. And as you all approach the door, the the gentleman at the door says, "Invitations, please." And he holds his hand out. He's wearing a mask as well, velvet accoutrement, all black color, as to look very discreet and nondescript, and asks for your invitations.
I assume we'll hand them forward, yes?
He checks the invitations, unfolds them, and looks at them, and at the end of him looking through each invitation, looking you all up and down, looking the kids up and down, notices the dog, who is very difficult to miss. And he looks down at Tiger and looks up at you all and says, "No pets allowed, I'm afraid. I do not believe I can allow you into the party with
Sir, excuse me.
Yes,
He does a little hand
my
up.
lord. Yes, my lord.
You see, she is not a pet. She is not here as a pet. She is here as a guard. As you never know in these places who might be around the corner. You see, we have two very small children here, apprentices. This one under me brings in Hanami closer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this is their guard dog, okay? This is important for their safety. Are you trying to detract from my child's safety?
So we're gonna have the first roll of the
Tearing
game.
your ass.
We're gonna have the first roll of the game.
Amanda gonna Karen this man.
Don't mess it up!
I'm going to ask you
I'm sweating.
for a communication roll, please.
Ah!
And the way that we do that, hold on, I'm gonna get out the cheat sheet for you. Give me just a second.
Thank you. Just tell me what to do, please.
So, chat,
I got mine up.
For everybody at home, we are all brand new to the Dragon Age RPG system. So please learn along with us. So when you roll die in Dragon Age RPG, we will roll 3d6. 2 of one color and 1 of a different color. The off-color die is called the dragon die, which is used to break ties, measure degrees of success, and to generate what we call stunt points for combat purposes. The stunt points are great. It allows you to do cool sword moves. basically, TLDR. And
yeah.
also
Nice.
cool magic moves. There are magic stunt points as well.
Hell yeah.
So, for you, you will roll these 3d6 and you will add your communication,
Okay.
which is 2, I believe.
Yes, on my sheet it says my communication is 2.
And if you have any relevant skills or talents related to your ability to communicate, now would be the time to see what you got. So you've got, let's see, let me look at what you have. You have, oh, nope, that's your magic sheet. Doo-doo-doo. If you have a focus in anything involving persuasion, yeah, persuasion I think would be good if
Feel
you
like
have that. Etiquette,
Like I did.
persuasion. You have, let's see, you've got writing. You have empathy. Those are the skills that you
say it
have.
like that!
Writing and
So
empathy.
embarrassing.
Don't read out my
You care? Ugh.
Nerd.
Ew.
Mandii said you ride and you have empathy.
Yeah, you write and you have empathy. So unfortunately, you
Horse
do not
girl,
have,
yes.
You do not have an added
No.
skill for that. So it would be rolling those 3d6 and then you would add
Add 2.
2. Yes. So
Okay.
what you'll do is you'll announce the total of the die, and then
Okay.
you will tell me what your dragon die was.
But I include the dragon die in the total, correct?
The dragon die is included in the total, yes.
Okay. I have a 12, and my dragon die is a 6.
Excellent. When we look at degrees of success in Dragon Age, generally tests are defined by a target number, just like a DC, and you rolled a 12, which is more than enough, and because your dragon die is a 6, that determines that your degree of success is successful, and he kind of sniffs at you and looks at the dog and looks at you, and you've been very, very convincing because you know how to work these fucking Orlesians for everything they're worth.
Yes, I
and,
do.
and Navarra, you know what's up, and you still know what's up now that you are here. And he says, yes, and I suppose it could be allowed, as you were. And he just kind of waves you off and makes like a little note he's got one of those clipboards with the candle on it, a la Josephine, has collected your invitations and has written you all into the guest list, including the dog.
Let's go.
Nice. Nice.
Some of you do get some looks as you enter into the room because some of you are very large and imposing. And this is a charity masquerade. But you enter in and you hear music streaming from inside the ball itself. There is a veritable cornucopia of food and drink and displays. There are display cases and grand paintings on the walls. There is a dance floor in the center of the main building. You are standing on a landing that has stairs that lead down into an area that has display cases for various artifacts and other historical items. And you do see that there is an area cleared out for a small dance floor. There is a little string ensemble off in the corner to allow people to dance if they feel like dancing. There's really nobody dancing right this moment because the party has only just begun. And your meeting is probably for some time in the middle of the party. You were told to wait until you were approached by a particular server who would give you a code word to then lead you to where the meeting occurs here within the building. This building is quite large. There are many rooms that offshoot from this main area, but what you notice is there are a variety of different artifacts and paintings all over the walls, just like a museum. Though you know that this is at the university, it seems to be just for that sort of display, since there isn't a dedicated museum in this area of the city. So, you look around and there are people dressed very nicely everywhere. A little more casual than a typical royal ball, so not insanely elegant ballroom dresses or anything like that, but people are dressed quite nicely and in typical Orlesian fashion. Everyone is wearing masks as they would even normally out on the street in a party like this. And you are left to roam this area as much as you wish. There are, from this landing area, if you take the stairs leading down, there are doors that lead to the left and the right out of this room.
Let's do a huddle. Can we do a huddle?
Yeah, you can do a huddle.
Yeah.
Maybe like, is there like a balcony or something?
Yeah, you could say that the little landing area that you entered at does have like a, if you don't go down into the main area, you can go off to the left or right to get to like a little balcony area that's amidst where these statues are, that were kind of in front of the building, but you're just behind where those are at. But yeah, you can step outside if you need.
Okay, just real quick. I make sure that the girls,
Yeah.
I make sure that the girls stay with us for now.
Oh wait, there's no way we look subtle at all.
Oh
Together
no!
on this
Oh no!
Even remotely.
We have to do this quickly, as this gestures. We're already being judged for this. Every gesture you make will be judged in here. A non-gesture or a gesture, just doing anything, you'll be judged for. That is part of the game, whether you take part or not. So, be aware of that you are playing now that you are in here. And people will use it against you, just because they like to. It is fun for them. People will try to humiliate you, possibly kill you, and try and steal from you sometimes. That happened to me once, actually. Besides the point. Just need to say that. Try and appear normal. Looks around at them. As normal as possible.
Cannot tell is cocking eyebrow underneath mask.
That's good. No one could tell. That's good.
Well, I go where you go, so I guess. What? What are we? All stuck in a group. Actually, now I go turn to the girls, and I gesture to all of them, Tiger included, and I just
They
say,
all look at you.
Telahn, you will not, you will not stray far.
Oh, okay. And you just get a bark in response from Tiger, which makes the major domo, who is like on the other side of the wall, like jump like because he hears the dog.
That's so funny.
And you too, as well.
Love that.
Quillet, I have included you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay.
Don't like it here.
I can tell you're enjoying this, Kost Kadan, looking over to Evander.
I'm not, actually. I do hate this game. I enjoy the looks.
You enjoy the attention.
Also songs. Because you're correct. Just an eye roll, but also like a, you are correct.
Would it be best, perhaps, then to separate into twos, threes, and explore? Make ourselves known.
Guys, he's splitting the party. What the heck?
Us
Listen,
an hour in. What if we just
I-
look?
Excellent.
What if we just
I am
split the
also a
party right
DM.
now?
I am also a
What if-
DM. What do you think I'm gonna do?
We could split
Yeah,
it into twos, ones.
Like maybe we
could-
should do ones. Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah, I
yeah. I
think so,
mean,
yeah.
we might as well if we're here. We might as well just.
Oh, it's gonna be like that, is it? Okay.
To
No.
to
No.
iterate, some of us are going to draw more attention than others. I'm not exactly the most like looks down at himself, the most well dressed for this kind of affair, other than the mask.
The mask is
What are
quite
you-
nice.
What are
Thank
you
you.
saying?
He did
You
a
look like you look like every average person here. And I gesture. My voice is monotone and filled with sarcasm.
there's just this like long, drawn out sigh that is echoing out of the mask.
Love. Oh my god, I imagine that makes it honestly terrifying.
It sounds like a dragon growl.
Yeah.
Like the Darth Vader thing, you know.
Yeah, that echo to it. Yes.
But there is a secondary motive as to why I suggest this.
Hmm?
If everyone is playing this game, do you really trust that everyone is playing the game fairly?
No, of course not. They never do.
No. one
Then would it not be better as strategists of this battle to scout your environment?
Ah. I suppose it is a lot like a battle. This is a good point. You are correct. Perhaps we
That
should
happens
speak.
sometimes.
More often, I think, than you think. How shall we split then?
quick. The faster that we can find a mystery person, the better.
May I make
So-
a suggestion then?
Sure.
Telahn, Ghilane, and myself, Evander and Amihan.
And the girls?
They have their share of protection. Plus, I've told my sister that if anyone decides to try to play this supposed game with them, they can handle themselves, as long as it is not too disruptive.
Don't worry, I can be subtle. She links arms with Hanami. We've got this. And by
I
this,
love the
we
Amihan.
mean we're gonna look at the art.
Good.
Are we going to let them go off on their own?
Tiger barks.
Every new fledgling must learn how to spread their wings at some point.
Well, to spread your wings, you should be outside and not in a very gilded cage.
You don't want them flying too far away.
It's fine, they have the dog.
Exactly.
I twitch.
It has to
Express
bend
this
all the way down, almost sitting to pet the dog.
Okay, listen. I've been
eats it
replaying.
up. I will tell
Yeah.
you that. That's
Okay,
good.
I've been replaying Origins and shit. This dog is massive.
Yeah.
Okay, this dog
Yeah,
is
but I'm-
massive.
yeah,
That's a-
but I'm
that's a
Tal-Vashoth.
Yeah,
That's
you're
a unit
giant
of a
freaking
dog.
Tal-Vashoth, yeah.
Mhm.
The dog that is the size of a Great Dane is like a pit bull size to me, so it's like,
Yeah.
You're
yes,
right. You're
you will
absolutely-
watch the girls very well, won't you? Yes, you will.
Ooh.
Yes,
Yeah,
you are a
you
good
get, like, the-
warhound.
you
Yes,
get-
you are.
You get like the butt wiggle happiness and the
Oh
happy
yes,
growling.
not the butt
Oh,
wiggle.
Yes.
Which is signature for all Mabari, as we know.
As we all know, it's
As
the
we
butt
all-
wiggles.
It
Canon.
is, yes.
Cannon butt wiggle.
Besides,
Yeah.
if Tiger's anything like Imikari Atash, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Fun.
The girls look at you and they're like, "Can we go look at the art now?" bats eyelashes.
Now, might I quickly make a suggestion? Should you not feel comfortable for any reason here or there, I can watch after them. It wouldn't be too troublesome.
Long, deep sigh. No, they are both correct. They should go off on their own.
Yay! And they immediately, like, grab the dog and go back inside to explore.
And if at any point you feel uncomfortable, Ghilane, I think it'd be wise to scout them, just in case.
I'm very good at scouting. I just feel quite disoriented here.
That's normal.
It's not my type of place. As you see him, like, pat both of his hands, and you see the ashes still on his hands.
Dude is dusty.
He's dusty and musty right now.
Dude, bro be dusty.
This is something that you have noticed about Ghilane during your time knowing him, is that his hands seem to perpetually have some kind of ash on them. It doesn't matter if he puts his hands in water or sticks his hands in mud or something else, there is always blackened ash somewhere on his hands or his wrists. And it seems to just be a feature, not a bug. You're not quite sure what could cause such a thing, but that is Ghilane.
BioWare didn't patch that out yet.
No, we didn't patch. We didn't patch this one. Not for this game.
He chose that in the character creator.
He did choose it in the character creator. Yeah, it's a mod. It's called the Charlie Brown mod, because you've got.
I got that. Yeah, I got that dust on me.
You got that dust
in me.
Exactly. They call me the Dust Bowl. No, I do want to mention that, though, even if there would be a moment where Ghilane would be like, what I'm going to say is that he always seems to miss a spot. That's what I'll say. He always seems to miss a spot.
And it always seems to manifest randomly.
Yes. He was not clean. He looks sort of similar to when the last time that you saw him. So even walking in here, he was not as clean as you think that you should be at something like this. So you can see his discomfort is just very, like, eye-opening, but also, like, he's not physically worried. You don't see any anxieties upon him. He's just, like, very forward and direct about the issues of him being here at this party.
Don't worry, Ghilane.
Please go ahead.
I don't think anyone in here washes their mask as frequently as they should.
He takes, like, he stretches his neck a little bit. That is helpful, but with people like this, the dirt goes deeper than just on the surface. So let's make this quick. Let's go to where we need to be. Let's find our mystery person. Let's get out.
Also, I said mask, not ass. What the fuck?
Yeah, second that.
My Hanami is fucking in the back. My little sister's in the back, and she heard me say ass.
Thank you for the
Not
context.
mask.
Thank you. We love.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
So you all walk into the back into the party, and you are splitting, group of 3, group of 2.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Cover more ground.
I'm gonna roll to decide which of you goes in what direction.
Hey. Not the
Okay.
dance floor, not the dance floor.
Oh my god, I can't.
Well,
do
you
the
do
dance
have to
though.
go
Talon's
down
going
to the dance floor to get to the other areas of the building.
Talon's
No!
going to the
It's
dance
just-
floor.
So the little
I want to roll.
the little walkway area that you enter in at, like the little foyer area, is just
Yeah.
a slight platform above this area. It's not super high up.
Gotcha.
It's just a few steps down, and then the doors that lead to the other rooms that ring this space are to the left and to the right. So, Ghilane, Telahn, and Kata, you will be going to the left, and Evander and Amihan will be going to the right. Okay. I'm actually gonna write that down. Okay. So, as you enter into the ballroom area and begin to fan out to kind of weave your way through the party until you get approached to attend this meeting, because whether or not you find this mysterious benefactor doesn't quite matter until they're ready for you, and you don't know who they are. You are to be approached by a messenger of some kind at this meeting to bring you to whichever side parlor or room that this meeting will be taking place in. So, as you move down into the dance floor area, again, nobody's dancing right now. People are kind of at the food tables and different tables kind of ringing the room, getting drinks and socializing, as they do, bragging about different acquisitions that they have made or what donations they have made to this specific museum building at the University of Orlais, and certain things come up. I would like from everyone now perception rolls.
Yo!
If you have any talents that pertain to I'm sorry, I keep saying talents because
Is it focuses?
It's focuses. If any of you have any focuses pertaining to watching this party, looking around, I will hear cases for whatever skill you want to apply a bonus to.
I don't think I have any focus for it.
No.
That's fair.
Me either.
What kind of perception is it? Just for listening into conversations and whatnot?
So perception in this game is blah 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 words. Perception in this game is very specific to all of the senses, not just not a specific sense.
Okay,
You're
gotcha.
looking, you're listening, you're smelling, you're feeling, and I will give you information based on how well you roll.
Can I argue to add empathy to this?
Yeah, I'll
As
allow
that's
it.
watching people and picking up on their cues and
Yeah,
whatnot?
I'll allow it.
Heck yeah.
So everybody make your rolls, and then I will ask one by one what your rolls are. So again, say your total, and then the dragon die, since we're all getting used to this. So I will start with Telahn. What is your perception roll, my dear?
Dragon dice is 5, but my total is 7. Wait, sorry, 10.
Right, you're adding your plus for perception, correct, to that total?
Yes, that's a +3, but then my question is...
Yeah.
I do have a focus in searching, but I'm not sure that I'm really looking for something specific yet, so I don't know if this applies.
Not
currently.
quite. That's for intentional looking for something, yeah.
Okay, that's what I
Good
thought.
call,
Then
good
yeah, it'd
call.
be a 10.
Okay, so you got a 10. Okay, for Telahn. Amihan, what did you get?
Okay, we add all 3 dice together, and I
Yeah,
note which one is
the total of your dice rolls, all 3, plus whatever bonuses you have. So that would be your perception bonus. So say you roll a 6, a 5, and your dragon die is a 5, so that's 11 plus that 5, that's 16, and you have a perception of 3. You add 3 to that, so that's 19.
Okay.
Yep.
Well then, that should be straight up like 14 for me.
14. And what was your
Yeah.
dragon die?
2.
2. May, can you tell me again what your dragon die was? I'm sorry. Was it
5.
5? That's what I thought. Thank you. Evander, what's your roll?
How much do I get to add additional for adding empathy in?
Let me double check. That is a great
'Cause
question.
I went to go check and it didn't say anything next to it, so.
Yeah, your focus. Let's see. I think you get an additional 2.
Okay. Then I would have a 12.
12. And your dragon die was what?
A 2.
Thank you. Ghilane.
I got a 15 in total.
And your dragon die?
5.
Excellent. And last but not least, Kata.
I got a total of 10 with a dragon die of 2.
Excellent.
Let's
Okay.
go.
LFG, dude.
So,
Let's go.
Ghilane,
Yes.
as
Oh, sorry.
you are walking around in this area, I really feel like this music is too epic for what we're doing here. I'm gonna go back to the ball music, even though the end is not a good loop. I don't care.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
also-
love this music.
It's also kind of fun, even though it doesn't
It
loop
is.
well, but that's okay. Ghilane, as you are moving, you're moving with both Kata and Telahn through the left-hand door into another room that has several glass cases. There are paintings on the walls. There is a statue. So directly ahead of you and to your left when you enter the door is a large glass case that has a little pedestal in it that is displaying a very interesting sash of some kind. It's very intricate and interesting, and it doesn't have a plaque on it to indicate what this item is, but it stands out to you as interesting. When you look at this item, it kind of ticks a little bit of a wonder in your brain. Why does this feel familiar to me? Directly ahead of you on the back wall of the room is a statue of Andraste. And it is a rare statue in which Andraste is depicted wearing like a laurel crown. And then there are other paintings in the room that are just typical Orlesian famous paintings. Fill in the blank, essentially. Different landscapes and buildings and things of that nature.
First things first.
Yeah.
I would like to. Is there any way that I can like? What does the statue of Andraste stand out? Like it was put there today, or it's always been there?
The statue
Something like that.
specifically? I would
Yes,
say, since your dragon die was a 5, I can just give you that. It looks like it's been here for quite some time. It seems to be a regular staple of this particular museum. It doesn't look particularly strange. It looks like it belongs here. It's just different from typical depictions of Andraste, where she is, depicted as very pious, bride of the maker kind of attire, like you typically see in the game: long robes, crown, etc.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just above game, I'm gonna like take that because I do.
Sure.
If there's anything like stands out to Ghilane, mainly because of the religious lore focus that I have, and seeing where we are and what's around it. Like I just want to make sure if there's no cues that are like, oh, this book and this statue together. Something random like that.
Right.
Just wanted to. I'm just sticking that in my brain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to the sash. I'm gonna walk over to the sash,
Sure.
and you're gonna hear Ghilane turn around to the group and say, "See, this is what I'm talking about. The most intricate, detailed pieces are brilliantly refined get put up like some show. Ugh. Disgusts me how they put it in your face. He keeps looking back at it, like he feels some sort of special connection towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go in for like a deeper look? Would I?
Yeah.
Is it like?
It's behind.
I kind of like sense.
It's in a tall rectangular glass case. Kind
Okay.
of like those tall fish tanks almost, but it's like
Yeah.
just glass. I
Okay.
would like from you, as you take a look at this, what are you looking for specifically before I decide
Like,
what
why
kind of
did-
roll you make?
Why does it remind me of something? And I guess the connection
Excellent.
of what it's reminding me of.
Sure. Roll me. I would love for you to roll me cunning. See if you can remember.
Cunning.
So cunning
okay.
in this game implies your intelligence, your recollection, things like that, not necessarily
Yes.
your ability to deceive. That's
Okay, and
different.
I do want to mention, as I said earlier, I do have like a focus in religious lore, which is under the cunning.
Yep,
Is there
this
anything
is not
that I need to add to that?
This
It's
is not religious, so it wouldn't apply here.
Great. Awesome. Just the 3. Oh, dang. 6, 6, and a 1. So 13.
And your dragon die
But the dragon
was-
dice is 1.
So you look at it and you feel this sense of deja vu, but you're not quite sure where the heck you've seen this before. It's
Deja
really
vu.
it's you think you might need to ponder on it a little bit, maybe come back to it later. And it's at this point, as you all fan out into the room to look at the other items in the room, is where we are going to take our break. So everybody get up, have a little snack, have a little stretch, and we'll be back in, I don't know, 10 minutes. Sound good to everybody? 10 minutes? Okay. So just enough time to
Nope.
be gay.
It never
in this
is.
game. We're back. Hopefully, the music for the ball, which I'm now swapping to, is not as loud as it was. Some of you messaged me during the break to say it was a little loud. So hopefully, it's not too overwhelming and you can hear everybody nice and clearly. If it gets overwhelming at any point in time, like the music gets too loud because it's too epic or whatever, please shout it out in chat. That would be most appreciated, and I will adjust accordingly. It's very easy for me to do. Anyway, let's dive right back into where we left off. Ghilane was looking at the sash in the left room from the ballroom area, but you have now moved on from this scene. We're gonna skip back over to Amihan and Evander, who have gone off into the room in the right-hand side of the building. As you have looked around in this particular room, this room is much more painting focused. And I feel like I should describe the architecture a little bit of the building that you are in. The floors are intricate, cut tile to create various artistic designs on the floors. Each room has a different design. The ballroom area is more floral. The room on the left has like hala designs and other such creatures. On the floor in this particular room, there are griffins depicted in the tiles on the floor. Again, just like outside of the building, the walls are basically a very pale gray kind of marble in the columns that are in the corners of every room that are freestanding, holding up the ceiling. The walls themselves are painted a very neutral kind of slate gray blue color. And in this room you see paintings of past emperors and empresses. There is a small dais in one corner directly ahead and to your right as you enter this room. Amihan and Evander. Another statue. This appears to be of some animals. You see a Mabari and a griffin kind of standing side by side, and there is a rider on the back of this griffin who looks to be of the Grey Warden variety. As part of this particular art piece. Many of these pieces, you'll notice, do not have plaques next to them. Some of them may have been loaned to the museum building for this particular event, and so there wasn't enough time for there to be plaques. But there are people milling about, looking at the art, admiring it, having conversations. I will say, Amihan, you actually notice this before Evander does, because you are quite perceptive. And as you look around in this room, you do see there is a gentleman on the far side of the room having a conversation with another man. They are dressed in almost Harlequin type patterning on their jackets. Not quite that garish, but like subtle little diamond shapes and interlaid different shapes that are kind of sewn into the fabric of their attire. They have masks that look a little bit like jesters. It seems to be the style for quite a few people currently. It's very common in Orlais right now. And you overhear some interesting conversation that, if I scroll down in my document correctly, they are talking about the war. You hear, and I'm not going to try to do French accents, y'all. I can't do it. Pretend they have Orlesian accents as I am describing these characters speaking. Pretty much any character you talk to is Orlesian unless I state otherwise, because I can't do French accents. Sorry. There's a limitation for me. But you hear, well, have the shipments come in yet? I've been waiting for them, and it's getting dire. We need to get these supplies out to the refugees that are being displaced by the war already. It needs to happen sooner than later, I should hope. And the other individual says, well, I suppose I can try to fit it into my schedule, but as you know, nobles make money in war, not refugees. And there is a little bit of conversation kind of dotted around the room. Some of it's talking about the war, some of it's talking about the art, some of it is talking about the purpose of this charity, which is to raise money for the refugees that are being displaced by the war. That is the point of this place, but it sounds a little bit more like a business engagement in this particular room than it does a charity. So that is what you notice. If you have any questions about the room, please feel free to ask.
Well, I'm my door. Oh. Yeah, good night. Sorry. My door opened in a weird way, and I was like, what is that noise?
A mystery.
Yeah. Anyways, Amihan, his ears twitch a little bit as he's kind of listening in, but making a very good effort to not, like, look and stare or anything like that. I don't think Amihan needs faces. Amihan just needs vibes. And discreetly, I'm going to tug, squeeze. It's a gesture towards Evander's like arm or elbowy area, so that way it doesn't look like I'm making like a big move or anything like that. I've been told over and over again about subtlety, and so I'm being subtle.
He's doing so well.
And without really making too much of a look anywhere, like in your direction and in their direction, Amihan will basically relay the information, except kind of adding, I knew nothing good comes out of charity when the nobles do it.
He was probably staring at the art, away from whatever this conversation was. I imagine a little bit in front of you, so he kind of inclines his head back a bit. Well, sometimes the game is confronting people very subtly if you'd like to start an argument. And he smiles very, very deviously.
How does one subtly start an argument?
You would think that I've shown you how multiple times.
We argue?
My point has been proven.
Oh. Well, care to show me? I clearly need pointers.
Really? Okay, I could start an argument. What would you like me to get them to admit? What would make you feel better? He looks like he is having fun with this. Truly.
Based on conversation, they didn't pick a side. And it's two royals fighting. One seems to care about refugees, and I'm going to assume it's going to be their refugees. But it'd be fun if they openly admit that they have a favorite. Or none at all, and they just want profit.
Okay. Well, then I shall provide you entertainment. Yay! Time to go start shit!
Oh, I love this. Okay, so what do you do as you intend to entertain Amihan with their social graces?
Good sentence. Are they standing by any particular piece of art?
Yes, they happen to be standing in front of a glass case that has a very ornate sword kind of standing upright so that you can see the side of it, the designs that are kind of emblazoned into the side of the blade. It looks vaguely Tevinter in origin and design. It is described as a donated piece by a Lady Blaze. This Blaise. And it is described as a ceremonial Tevinter sacrificial sword, like an ancient one.
And who was involved in this war that caused these refugees again?
Yes. So the War of the Lions is actually a civil war. It is the civil war in Orlais as various individuals are trying to fight. Basically, Empress Selene.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You know, there's a bit of a war there. There's Grand Duke Gaspard, who you might know from Inquisition. For the folks at home, this story takes place just before the events of Dragon Age Inquisition. So that is the time frame we are in presently.
Okay, time to go start shit. He would very gracefully kind of float over toward where these two are speaking. And very pointedly, hands behind his back, look at the blade, inspect it from every angle. And give a glance up towards them.
Yeah, their conversation kind of dies off a little bit, which you realize as you were walking up to these individuals, these two gentlemen, that they were starting to have a little bit of a tiff, a little bit of an argument between the two of them. You couldn't tell if it was the banter kind or a serious kind. It's a little hard to tell in Orlais sometimes, especially at these parties like this. But the conversation kind of dies down a little bit as you approach to go and look at the sword, as though they don't want you to necessarily overhear their conversation.
Kind of does a little look up from the blade. I'm sorry, was I interrupting an argument. I can go over here if you'd prefer to argue in private. Though, honestly, there's a blade right in front of you. I'm sure, no one would miss it. If you two just wanted to have a duel right here, I'd be happy to officiate, actually.
Roll me, I will take, I love this. I'll take, communication.
Okay. I just want to state that I'm like behind. I still look like security detail. I'm just here like chilling, but I'm behind. My mouth shut.
I love to be a little shit on Maine.
I love for you to be a little shit on Maine.
I love when I get to be a little shit. God, it's so fun.
I love to let you be a little shit. It's very fun for me.
I'm a supportive husband.
You are a supportive husband.
I've got a 13.
Excellent.
And I've got a 3.
Ah, I see. Interesting.
Not great.
So there are a few things we could talk about here.
Oh God!
I will say the individual that I just rolled for. I'll tell you what I got. I got a total of 16 with a 6 on my dragon die, and I have a bonus of +2, so that's an 18. This individual looks at you.
He's gonna be mean to me.
He looks over at you, and he says, in his Orlesian accent, yes, we were discussing private business, but if a duel should ever need to break out, I'll be sure to let you know first. And you are?
He will extend a hand. To shake.
Yeah, he'll shake your hand.
Evander Veritas, nice to meet you. I'm a diplomat from Navarra.
They
And
look at each
you
other when you say that. Yes.
And you are?
Ah, you may refer to me as Lord Blaze. And this here, and he motions this fine, and he says sarcastically, individual, is Mr. Estienne Noir. And they will shake hands with you and exchange pleasantries. And Lord Blaze will say, no duels today, as I said. I am here for humanitarian reasons, unlike my counterpart.
A humanitarian, I assume we all are? Is this not a charity event?
It is indeed. And Mr. Noir kind of speaks up and says, well, charity is still business, of course, and one must know where the money is going to, of course. And whom.
Oh, well, just for the sake of conversation, where would you like it to go, sir?
Well, certainly not those on the wrong side of the war, that is for sure.
Right. We certainly wouldn't want that. Well, forgive me. I'm not from these parts, but perhaps you could educate me on what that might be.
I love this. And we're going to, as they begin to get into a detailed explanation of the War of the Lions, we're going to switch back to the other group. Which, by the way, the War of the Lions is the Orlesian Civil War between Empress Celine Valmont and Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, which is highly detailed in Inquisition, which is why I'm not getting into it now. Anyway, moving on to the other room. Telahn, Kata, and Ghilane. Kata, you are looking around, and I will say you've been kind of keeping an eye out for the girls, and you haven't seen them in a little minute as of yet, but you did just get here, so no cause for alarm as of yet. Telahn, you also haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary. This is just a bunch of art. It's interesting. You're just sticking close to your party at the moment, at the very least, as you move into the next room in. So you are now two rooms in. So you're at the back left corner of this building, in another room with more statues and various artifacts. There's armor pieces. There's a book behind glass. There's more paintings on the walls in this room. And those are the things that you see in this particular area.
I think I'm kind of following in Kata's shadow. Just because you would think that, he's trying to be subtle, right? But if you were to look back at him, you'd see him kind of... He's trying not to, just gawk, so he's not moving his whole head, but he is definitely, you see the eyes shifting, he's taking it all in. He's intrigued, I guess I could say. Maybe he's never seen this before.
This is your first time, I assume, inside of an gestures to the palace.
Yes, I don't get invited to these either.
On my
Doesn't seem
part,
like the game is... Oh, sorry.
Well, on my part, I understand that. It's not exactly every day that a Tal-Vashoth, let alone a Qunari, gets invited to any high-status event and not stand outside holding a spear.
Right. Question, is this like the ball in the game where most of the servants are elves?
So I will say...
if I've been keeping an eye out for elves.
Yeah, so I will say, if you're specifically looking for elvish servants, they definitely are present here. The wait staff is a mixture of humans and elves, who mostly appear to be city elves. You don't see a lot of Valisleen amongst the individuals who are working at this party. There are some, but it's not quite as common as you would typically see from Dalish elves, for example. But yeah, there's a good mix with a little bit of looking. You rolled a 10 and your dragon die was a 5 for looking around. I would say in this room you're able to find, you'll see in particular elven individual dressed in the wait staff uniform that you've seen other servers wearing, just slipping out of the room into the next.
Okay. And then also I assume there's no other Qunari that we've seen?
There is not a single one. Not one here that you've seen thus far.
Cool. Great. Okay. Well, in that case, I mean, I'm sure you're a much better guard inside than out. And besides, you can't be the worst dancer here, so at least there's that.
You have never seen me dance.
Well, maybe we can get away with not letting anyone else see either of us dance if we can avoid Evander's temptation long enough.
As long as everything is fine, you have nothing to fear, Tashaftik.
Ghilane, you dance? He says not very confidently, not expecting him to say yes.
You see Ghilane kind of twist his head, but not turn back to y'all, as he just says, "Huh?
Do you dance?"
Come here. Do you see this? Do you sense something too? As you've walked around, Ghilane's been staying in the same place for a while, and now he thinks that something is up, and he's calling in his friends to see if there is something up, or if he just can't get something out of his head.
So to clarify, did you not move on into the room that they moved on into? You're still in the first room? Okay.
Oh, I thought you were wandering about in the same room. I guess.
I assume it's a long room, right? Can I still hear that?
So there are open doorways. So essentially what it is you entered a door and you're in one room with displays. There is a wall in the middle of this long area, but there are doors on either side of the room. Sorry, I should have described that better. There are doors on either side of that wall where there are paintings kind of framing it to maximize the wall space, because more walls in a gallery/museum is always better. And you can hear the other room. It's not far away. It's not a humongous room in which if they were to say something, you wouldn't be able to hear it at all.
Then, in that case, you see Ghilane pop his head in from the door.
Mm-hmm.
He's somewhat observant, and he heard what you asked him, but he has other asks. And so he repeats what he says. He repeats what he says, thinking that the rest of the party didn't hear him from the other room.
You're telling us to come there, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, then. Go back to the room we were in.
And as you walk back into this room, you turn to find, you realize that a moment ago, Ghilane, you were the only one in that room.
Okay.
In that side of the room.
Okay.
As the other partygoers have kind of moved into the next room along with Telahn and Kata.
Oh, okay.
And as you turn back in the doorway, you see the girls standing in front of this sash. And one of them is very clearly casting a spell. As you see this happening...
Yeah, it's definitely a wait handout type situation.
Mm-hmm. You see this, and you hear as before you turn and see this, you hear giggling behind you, and you turn, and these girls are casting some kind of spell, and before you can do anything, a hole opens in the glass. And one of them reaches inside and snatches the sash. And what happens when that happens is this item begins to unravel. You feel an immense amount of magic in the room. And... We'll just say, I think this is worth. Hopefully the music's not too loud. The room darkens, and the entire party darkens. The lights begin to flicker out. The feeling in this room doesn't feel right. As you see greenish energy escape from the threads of this fabric out into the room, as you see a vaguely humanoid, seemingly almost on fire kind of creature kind of fly out of this room. The next thing that happens is your world begins to tilt ever so slightly as the light changes into a greenish yellow, horrific hue as people begin to scream. The lights flicker out entirely and you are left in darkness. You hear and feel the earth begin to shake beneath your feet as seemingly the foundation is being ripped from the ground. And then everything turns upside down, literally. And just before you hit the ground, all of you blacking out at the end of this scene, the last thing you see is green light surrounding the girls. And the dog is nowhere to be seen. Before you all pass out and fade to black, you feel your world flip upside down. and that is where we will end tonight.
No, it's the fade.
The hell?
Fucking fade!
Back in the fucking fade.
I got a lot to do.
Me and all my homies back in the fade again.
A lot of responses. I have very many responses. So many.
You're upside down.
No,
You're going
I got
tonight.
stuff.
So
No,
You're going tonight.
TLDR,
I'm not going
this
night-night.
building- TLDR, this building flips upside down, and y'all hit the ceiling, and night-night.
I refuse.
So yeah, thank you.
Anyway, good night,
so,
everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We will be back soon, TM. I will open up the schedule now. So we do have a session next Monday on the 14th. We will be without a Momo that week, but don't worry, there will be a narrative reason for this.
No.
So we will see you
she's lost in the
next.
fade.
We will see you next week on Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel, but let's really quickly talk about the schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow night, we have a very special episode of Ignite Recall. This is going to be a long one. Bring your snacks. Make sure you stretch throughout. It is going to be a major, major, major episode tomorrow night. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Penultimate episode, I believe. Frank, please correct me in chat if I'm wrong. And we will be doing that. I believe we also have, do we have Ancestral Blood this week? No?
No. TBD. It's TBD.
On Ancestral Blood this week, so sorry. And for those of you who watch my channel, no Miss Lost this week because hurricanes. So that's happening. And then we will be back here next week, same bat time, same bat channel on the 14th for the next episode of Dragon Age Masquerade. I hope you have all enjoyed. Thank you so much to my players for being here. You are all incredible and wonderful. I am privileged to be running this story for you all today. Thank you, chat, for being here. Thank you for the raids and the follows. And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you in the fade.
See you in the fade.